Today we will look at different ways to construct a sentence. To make a sentence, we need to know what is the focus of the sentence. The subject of the sentence is going to be determined by the voice. We have different voices in Cebuano: active voice, direct passive voice, indirect passive voice, and instrumental passive voice. So, in summary, active voice is the person or thing who performs the action. In other words, the actor. That person is the subject of the sentence. This is also known as actor focus. So, let's compare the different voices. An active voice, if the subject is the one performing the action, in English, we'll just say, I bought a car. He bought a car. I gave a gift. Or if I'm talking to you, give a gift. You are the person, the subject of the sentence, the active voice. The next is the direct passive voice. The person or thing who receives the action, in other words, the goal, is the subject of the sentence. Another way of saying this is that the direct object is the subject of the sentence. This is also known as goal focus. If you compare these sentences, on the active voice, I would have said, I bought a car. But on the direct passive voice, the focus now is on the car. I bought the car. He is buying the car. I will enter the house. Again, the person or thing that receives the action, the goal, is the subject of the sentence. The third voice is the indirect passive voice. The person or thing for whom the action is performed. In other words, the beneficiary of the action, or the location where the action takes place, is the subject of the sentence. Another way of saying this is that the indirect object is the subject of the sentence. This is also known as beneficiary focus or location focus. Here are some examples. If you go back to the active voice, the person who did the action, I bought a car. In the direct passive voice, the car is the focus, direct passive. In the indirect passive, who will be the one who will benefit from buying the car? So I would have said, I bought a car for Tom. He bought a car for his mother. Another way or example of an indirect passive voice, put money in the wallet, because that will be the focus, the transferring of an object into another object. And finally, the instrumental passive voice. The instrumental passive voice is the thing by which the action is performed. In other words, the instrument is the subject of the sentence. This is also known as instrument focus. This voice can also be used in cases where the thing being conveyed or transferred from one person to another, or from one location to another location, is the subject of the sentence. Here are some examples. Again, compare the word buy, bought. Remember, back to the beginning, I bought a car, active voice. I bought the car, direct passive voice. I bought a car for Tom, indirect passive voice. And I bought a car with my money. Now, that's the instrument by which the action is being done. That's the instrumental passive voice. He bought a car with his money. I gave the gift. Again, we're focusing on the thing being transferred, the gift. That will be the instrumental passive voice. And finally, put the car inside a garage. The thing being transferred from one location to another, in this case the car, is the focus of the sentence. We need to know this because in Bisaya and Cebuano, the verb for buy, give, and to enter or put inside will change depending on voice and then tense and then also the mood, which we'll explain in the future video.